Hey, good afternoon, and welcome to the Michael Titus Show right here on GoMileHigh.com. I tell you what, this is the inaugural show right here on GoMileHigh.com. I am your host, the Rocky Mountain Mouth, Michael Titus. I couldn't be more elated than to be here with you today. I tell you what, Rob Wagner, he did it all. He made it happen. He put all of this thing together, and I tell you what, we've got David Prill right over there. He's on the ones and twos. He's taking care of everything for me. I couldn't be more excited. I tell you what, this is going to be a great show. You don't want to miss it right here on GoMileHigh.com. I tell you what, it's something else. I got a big, huge show ready for you today. It's going to be about Colorado independent wrestling. And you want to know what happened? I tell you what, it was the truth right there on the Full Nelson, our sister show. He told me, he says, you know what, I'm a busy man. I don't have time to sit around and talk about independent wrestling. In consequence, he's an idiot. He wouldn't give me the time of day to talk about the independents, so that's what I did. I said, I'm going to go out and get my own show. I'm going to get my own show, and I'm going to call it the Michael Titus Show. That's what I'm going to do, and we're going to get that all squared away here today. And if you all don't know who I am the Rocky Mountain Mouth, Michael Titus. I'm manager extraordinaire here in the Colorado independent wrestling scene, and you just don't understand how great things are, because it all began 5,000 years ago, when civilization was young, and every major culture, Egypt, Greece, Rome, India, Japan, they studied it, they practiced it, and they perfected it to a fine art. They admired it because of its Olympian demands, its strength, speed, agility, skill, grace, and courage. And they did it to honor their gods, they did it to honor their kings, and they did it to train their soldiers. They did it to compete, and they did it for fun. And it's come down through the ages, from the territories to us in wrestling today as the indies and professional wrestling. And if you want to know about WWE, Ring of Honor, TNA, you need to listen to our sister show that'll be on later this evening from 7 to 9 p.m. right here on GoMileHigh.com, The Full Nelson with Truth and Consequence. But for me, you're going to want to hear about the indies here in Colorado. All right. So there are 5 major promotions in the state of Colorado. New Revolution Wrestling, Asylum Championship Wrestling, New Era Wrestling, Ultimate Wrestling Alliance, and Primo's Hardcore Wrestling. And we're going to be talking about all the 5 major promotions as well as the 4 minor promotions, Lucha Libre Mexicana Azteca out of Colorado Springs, Denver Lucha Libre, OMLL, Organización Mundial de Lucha Libre, and Stomp Invasion Pro Wrestling. I'm going to be talking about it all because this is the only platform that you're going to be able to hear about every independent wrestling promotion here in the state of Colorado and the shows that they're going to be having. I'm going to be talking about what actually happens on the shows, the storylines, when the show dates are going to happen, and what's going on in the world of wrestling here in the state of Colorado, as well as each and every show. I'm going to have special segments in terms of I'm going to have wrestler profiles. And if I can, I'm going to have the wrestlers come in. If not, I'm going to go conduct interviews on location with them. And you're going to be hearing about them. I'm going to be talking about the promotions, the history about them, where they started, and what their goals are in trying to accomplish. And at the same time, I'm going to be talking about this week in wrestling history and what's going on in this week, just briefly to let you know about something that you might hear on the Full Nelson later on tonight. All right. We're on here on GoMileHigh.com, and you're going to listen to us live there on the link, or you can go to livestream.com and watch the webcam, listen to us anytime that you want, 24/7. That's what's going on. But you know what? I've got a special guest today coming in real soon. He says he's about 20 minutes away, coming up I-25, and it's a major coup for me because no one has ever been able to get this guy back here to the Ohio Center for Broadcasting. I have. I coerced him. I persuaded him. I made sure that he was going to be here today because we wanted to hear from him. Everybody, I mean, even the administrators of this school have been wanting him to come back, but he said no, he's a much too busy man. But for Michael Titus, absolutely, he's going to knock down my door and get in here, and he's going to sit in here in the studio, and we're going to talk about a lot of important things here in Colorado indie wrestling, as well as how his career has flourished since he left Ohio Center for Broadcasting and becoming one of the main radio DJs in Colorado Springs. So if you know who I'm talking about, then you're going to be really surprised when he comes in because it's a major opportunity for him to be a part of this show. Now, New Revolution Wrestling. It's a company out of Littleton, Colorado, and they have shows at Fun City. Fun City, a great, great venue. We started in a small room, and then now we've moved up to a big room. It's the roller derby room, so you're going to have to check that out. There's going to be a show coming up this weekend. Asylum Championship Wrestling out of Colorado Springs, New Era Wrestling out of Golden, Colorado, Ultimate Wrestling Alliance out of Fort Collins, Colorado, and Primos right here in the heart of Denver at Castleman's Bar and Venue. And OMLL, they just had a show this past Sunday, and they're going to be having some big shows, and I understand there's going to have a benefit show at the end of the month on the 30th, so you're going to want to check that out. Lucha Libre Mexicana just had a show this Sunday down in Colorado Springs, big, huge show. And Stomp Invasion Pro Wrestling, they co-promote with OMLL and Denver Lucha Libre. Once those show dates are released, I will be the first one to release them. And we've got a lot of great things going on. I'm going to talk about each and every one of the shows that have been going on in the past month, from what happened all through October and what's going to happen in the rest of November. You don't want to miss that. And there's a lot of exciting things going on here in the state of Colorado for wrestling. And we've got some big, big things coming. So you want to stick around because... hey, it's Michael Titus. I'm the manager extraordinaire. I've been doing this now for 3 years. I've been going around to many different states. I've been doing a lot of things, Utah, Texas, New Mexico. Been traveling around with a lot of guys, learned a lot of things, been in front of different crowds, and I know what I'm talking about. Unlike all these other people who don't know what's going on or what they see on their television screens, I'm actually out there. I wrestle, I manage, I color commentate. I know exactly what's going on out there, and you're never going to hear anything best or better from the Colorado Indie Wrestling scene, but from Michael Titus. So you're going to have to stick around because I got a big, big show coming up for you, big guests coming on, and you don't want to miss it. Because right here on GoMileHigh.com, and hey, if you're listening right now, you give us a call at 720-258-8488 or Livestream.com because we're going all the time. You don't want to miss it. Hey, it's the Michael Titus Show right here, broadcasting live from Belmar in Lakewood, Colorado. So we're going to be coming back here shortly. You don't want to miss it. This is the Michael Titus Show right here on GoMileHigh.com.
Oh, dude, look over there. Wow. Oh, forget that. Look what just came around the corner.
I'll buy her a hot dog.
Holy smokes, is this not the greatest place on earth?
How about the one in the red?
Ooh.
No, the next row down.
Wait a second.
Uh-huh.
Is that her mom?
Her, too.
Nice.
Oh, dude, my nails are freaking broken.
Dude, I snagged the ball. Whoa, you okay? GoMileHigh.com. We pay attention to sports, so you don't have to.
We all make excuses for not saving energy. Next time, I'll turn the lights off. Next time, I won't leave the water running.
Next time, we'll get those new light bulbs. Next time, I'll load the dishwasher all the way. Next time, promise. Next time, next time, next time. Listen, maybe it's time to
start doing some simple things for the future to save the energy and money and resources we can. Maybe it's time to start using the resources we have a little more wisely.
Look, I'm not saying we should get crazy. I'm just saying we should be smart for tomorrow. My name is
Terrell. I'm thinking about tomorrow, today.
We can all help save more energy for tomorrow. What's your excuse? For more energy-saving tips that also save money, visit loseyourexcuse.gov/parents. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy, the Ad Council, and this station.
GoMileHigh.com. Are you freaking kidding me? GoMileHigh.com.
Hi, everyone. It's the mortgage team of Jennifer and Matt with American Liberty Mortgage, here to talk about renovation loans. There's no need to do the renovation work yourself when you can have a contractor do it and get it done in a required period of time.
With Fannie Mae's Home Path Loan and FHA's 203K loan, you can have the renovation work done for you and have the cost rolled into the loan. Call the mortgage team of Jennifer and Matt for more details about the Home Path renovation and FHA 203K loans at 303-901-6042.
That's the mortgage team of Jennifer and Matt at 303-901-6042.
Hey, what are you doing? Don't log off that computer yet. You know what time it is. 7 o'clock on a Monday. It only means one thing. Overtime on GoMileHigh.com. I'm Josh Dover, alongside Ronnie Taylor and Kevin Retner. We got you every Monday night from 7 to 9 on GoMileHigh.com. We break down the weekend of sports, yesterday's NFL games, and what's new with the Rockies.
We're talking Broncos. Will Tebow live up to the hype? Also, your Denver Nuggets. What will they do this offseason to get over the Carmelo era? So tune in every Monday night, 7 to 9 for Overtime, only on GoMileHigh.com.
Are you tired of the same old plain sports shows throughout the week and you stuck listening to them?
Well, now it's time to change your sports life around. Check out Overtime, Monday nights from 7 to 9. Me, Ronnie T, Big Kev, Josh Dover. We bring sports talk to a whole nother level. We take it real and raw. We don't hold any punches. You want Nuggets, Broncos, Avalanche, Rockies? We got you here. Make sure you stay locked. Overtime, the only thing that helps you get through Mondays.
GoMileHigh.com. Go Mile High.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the Michael Titus Show right here on GoMileHigh.com, your home for Colorado indie professional wrestling. It is awesome. It's something else. I tell you what, this is our inaugural edition. We're working out the bugs. We're working out the kinks. Everything's working out great. And I tell you what, don't forget, I still got a big guest coming in. He's still on his way up from Colorado Springs. He's an OCB grad. He couldn't wait to get back here. Everyone else has been asking him to come back. Michael Collins, all of the big wigs here at OCB, Ohio Center for Broadcasting, but none of them were able to get him back here except for me, Michael Titus. So the purpose of this show is to give the opportunity to the wrestling fans here in the state of Colorado to learn more about Colorado indie wrestling. Because there's no other place that you're going to find out about it. There's no other place that you're going to ever hear about it. And we've got the Full Nelson, a great, great show. But they only talk about what they see on their television screens. They talk about WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment, TNA, and they talk about Ring of Honor. But that is nothing that's going on in Colorado. WWE comes here every once in a while. TNA hasn't been back for years. And Ring of Honor, good chance of them trying to get here. But hey, if you want to know more about me and everything that's going on, you need to check out the Michael Titus Show. You need to like it there. And you need to follow me on Twitter, Michael_Titus. That's where you're going to find out everything you want to know about Colorado indie wrestling scene, because I'm going to be a correspondent for each and every show here in the state of Colorado. I'm going to every show, ACW, NRW, NEW. If I'm not a participant in it, whether or not I'm being a wrestler or a commentator or a manager, I'm sitting in the crowd and I'm going to be watching what's going on. So you know not only the results, the storylines, but what's important, what's going on, and what is interesting. And so, like I said, there's 5 major promotions here in the state of Colorado: New Revolution Wrestling, Asylum Championship Wrestling, New Era Wrestling, Ultimate Wrestling Alliance, and Primos. And there's the 4 minor: Denver Lucha Libre, OMLL, Lucha Libre Mexicana, Azteca, and SIPW. They're what's going on here in the state of Colorado. Now, what happened just recently, which was a couple of weeks ago rather, on October 1st, we had an NRW show. Now, what's going on, the main things on those shows was that there was a number 1 contenders match for the NRW champion, the superstar, Andrew Ryan. And the number 1 contenders match was against Mercury Matt Yaden and Jesse Williams. And Jesse Williams actually won out. He finally got his opportunity. He's going to face the superstar this coming Saturday, November 12th at Fun City. He's going to get his opportunity. He's been whining and complaining and begging Swan Christopher, the CEO of NRW, ever since the inception of NRW happened, that he wanted a title match. And when he finally got his title match, back on June 4th of this year, when it was the 1-year anniversary of NRW, he got his match. He actually got it against the superstar, but the superstar beat out. Now, personally, I believe that it was the interference of Swan Christopher. Big nosy man over there, affirmative action man. He's over there trying to pick up the superstar, his lifeless carcass laid out on a table over there that Jesse Williams just recently put him through. He picks him up, drags him to the ring, throws him in the ring, and all of a sudden, somehow miraculously, the superstar pops back up and shoots a 450 off the top rope and beats Jesse Williams clean. I don't know how it happened. I was sitting in the crowd. I was astonished. I was amazed. I didn't believe that it could happen. But a little guy like the superstar, 160 pounds, 170 pounds, how much ever he weighs, he beat out the 250-pound Jesse Williams. And it's unbelievable. But that's what's going to happen this Saturday. We're going to have the main event is going to be Jesse Williams versus the NRW champion, the superstar. Will he retain his title or will he not? I don't know. I personally think that the superstar is going to lose. I mean, because it's about time Jesse Williams got his due. He's been working hard. He's been doing everything that he can to get to the pinnacle of professional wrestling, and this is where it's at for him in the state of Colorado's New Revolution Wrestling. It's the number 1 promotion in the state. And this Saturday, the show is going to benefit the Rocky Mountain Deaf School out of Golden, Colorado. It's a big benefit. Portion of the proceeds is going to go towards it. It's going to be a great show. And another match that happened, it involved me. All right, Chris Von Lohr. my giant from Dead Horse, Alaska, 6'7", 275 pounds. He tagged with my diamond standard, Jason Knoll, and they went up against Duff Doyle, that country bumpkin, and Danger Dean, that radio DJ wannabe. Uh-oh, did I give away who my guest is? Yes, I did. All right, so Duff Doyle and Danger Dean, they've been whining and complaining, saying that they needed a rematch because, hey, Duff Doyle took on my giant Chris Von Lohr. They had a match. But under some mysterious controversy, some people say Chris Von Lohr tapped out. Other people say there was a disqualification. That match is irrelevant at this point. So then we have this tag team match. So they want to have this rematch from a couple of months ago that they had a tag team match. And the stipulation was because that big dumb idiot up in his ivory towers, Swan Christopher, said that, hey, if this match happens and Duff and Dean win, then therefore it's going to happen that Chris has to have a singles match against Duff Doyle, and I have to be handcuffed to some Duff Doyle militia reject, some big fat guy that looks like Peter Griffin, and Jason Knoll is barred from ringside. Now, that's sort of injustice. I've had my attorneys on this. I've had some injunctions put into place for this, and I tell you what, nothing could be done because somehow Swan Christopher has got an ironclad contract that nothing can be changed about it. But either way, what's going to happen is that Chris Von Lohr will take on Duff Doyle this Saturday at Fun City, and he's going to destroy Duff Doyle once and for all. It's irrelevant, it's pointless for Duff Doyle to just even try to face Chris Von Lohr anymore. It's pointless, it's stupid. And Jason Knoll, he's going to get his opportunity because he is going to face, I believe, let's check my notes here. He is going to face, I can find my notes here. He is going to face Lil Mac, but he's not going to get his chances against Danger Dean. But we're going to be right back on the Michael Titus Show. I got lots more to say about everything. You don't want to miss it right here on GoMileHigh.com. Stay tuned because I got that special guest. We'll be back.
This is here's Dylan Dave at GoMileHigh.com, and we offer to you 0% hassle. That's right. And since you're already here, get behind the wheel and test drive our website. We got new and used shows from MMA, soccer, rodeo, dodgeball, and every kind of sports we could think of. So when you think sports radio, think Dylan Dave at
GoMileHigh.com. Colorado sports lifestyle. Get your breath.
You know that the ice cream scoop can make a child smile, and that by slowing us down, the traffic light can keep us going. You know that the lawnmower makes life easier, that the blood bank makes life possible. But did you know all these ideas came from the minds of African Americans? Support the United Negro College Fund, because a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Visit uncf.org or call 1-800-332-UNCF. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
Broadcasting from Belmar, Lakewood, Colorado. GoMileHigh.com.
Hi everyone, it's the mortgage team of Jennifer and Matt with American Liberty Mortgage, here to talk about renovation loans. There's no need to do the renovation work yourself when you can have a contractor do it and get it done in a required period of time.
With Fannie Mae's Home Path Loan and FHA's 203K loan, you can have the renovation work done for you and have the cost rolled into the loan. Call the mortgage team of Jennifer and Matt for more details about the Home Path renovation and FHA 203K loans at 303-901-6042.
That's the mortgage team of Jennifer and Matt at 303-901-6042.
Join us on the pitch with Ronnie Lee and Dave on GoMileHigh.com as we talk about everything surrounding soccer in the world, from England to Italy to Spain. Get it here. Get your weekly dose of the beautiful game on GoMileHigh.com.
There won't be much MLS talk, but for those that like talking minor league sports, you can call in and let us know what you think.
Who's better, Manchester United or Barcelona? If you had one player to start a team, would it be Ronaldo, Messi, or Rooney? We'll discuss it all here on the pitch on GoMileHigh.com. Catch your breath.
Go Mile High. You're listening to GoMileHigh.com.
Welcome back to the Michael Titus Show right here on GoMileHigh.com. And I'm joined in the control room by Dave Prill. Hey, Dave, how's it going? He just gives me a thumbs up. He don't want to be on air because he got an entire hour the next hour from 1 to 2. He's going to be here with Ronnie Lee, and they're going to be talking about soccer on the pitch. You don't want to miss it. It's a great show. I actually am their producer, so I know what's going on, and Dave Prill has been kind enough to come in and be my producer. So, yes, this is the Michael Titus Show. We're talking about Colorado indie wrestling. And, again, I'm the manager extraordinaire. I'm the host. I had to go out and get my own show because the Consequence is such an idiot, he wouldn't give me the time of day, and he's so worried about him looking like a jar of mayonnaise than he's worried about professional wrestling. That's what he's worried about. Well, either way, enough about him. I'll have to deal with him later on this evening. But we're talking about independent professional wrestling, and we're talking about October 1st, New Revolution Wrestling that happened, their big show that they had. And in the main event, it was the NRW champion, the superstar, Andrew Ryan. He took on Aaron the Candyman. You saw a different Aaron the Candyman. He changed his tune. It wasn't about handing out the candy. It wasn't about pandering to the crowd like he used to, trying to get friends. I mean, what kind of a loser does that? I don't need friends. I got plenty of them. I don't have to buy them out. If I did, I've got plenty of money to deal with it. But either way, they had a hard-fought match. But you know what? The superstar was just too much for Aaron the Candyman, that big 330-pound crunch bar-looking man. And he had a lot of trouble this coming month. He's not my superstar profile, because that's another guy who's going to be our guest this week. But Aaron the Candyman had a lot of trouble because in other shows, he not only had his neck sprained, but then at the last show, October 22nd, in ACW, which I will talk about in a minute, he actually broke his neck. He's going to have 6 months to recover, and he's going to be out of action for a while. I don't know what he's doing. He wanted to go to Mexico and become a big-name star down there, but I don't think that's going to happen for him. Not with that broken neck and the injuries that he sustained. I mean, he's got to get into shape. He's got to go to rehab and do a number of things to get back into in-ring conditioning, because 35 years of amateur wrestling, and then all of a sudden he gets into professional wrestling. It's been a hard-fought battle for him to get to where he was. But then on October 9th, getting back to the results segment that we have right here, is Primo's Hardcore Wrestling. And they had their annual Carnival, which they also call Gimmick Infringement Night. And the matches that they had on that show were irrelevant. They were pointless. But what was important is that you had a lot of cast of characters, people dressing up, people being different, people wearing different costumes to try to be different people. And some of the people that were there, you had Mr. Fuji, Yoko Jinsu, the real Pat Tanaka, and then you had some guy named Fat Tanaka trying to make a joke on Pat Tanaka himself. Pat Tanaka, one half of the Orient Express, Bad Company, and AWA. He is a name synonymous with professional wrestling, and he's working together with Hulk Hogan doing the Micro Championship Wrestling. He's doing a lot of things. He's got his hands out there working on different things, training people. An awesome, awesome man. They had Roddy Piper, Superstar Billy Graham, Goldust, Sensational Sherry. Now, I want to preface all this by saying that those guys weren't really there. These were just people dressing up to be like them, because a bunch of idiots thinking they have to dress like and impersonate other people. You had Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, Cody Rhodes, El Generico, Boogeyman, Erwin R. Shyster, better known as IRS. You had Bret the Hitman Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Vince McMahon, Hollywood Hogan, Jeff Hardy, Andre the Giant. I tell you what, they just had a lot of people pretending to be a lot of people. It was ridiculous. But you have a lot of fun with it, and that's the whole point. Now, on October 16th, we had New Era Wrestling out of Golden, Colorado at the Buffalo Rose. And I was color commentating that night. And they had a lot of matches. They had Sergeant Jack Piston against Burt Lancaster, I don't even know what his name was, in a dark match, meaning they had to have a match before the show even started. Then you had the gold standard Michael Madoff versus the lost soul Tony Ortega. And Tony Ortega is this high flyer. And the high flyer proved to be too much for the pedantic, pontificating, pretentious jerk. And I tell you what, Michael Madoff is a belligerent old fart. That's what he is. He thinks he's a superstar. He thinks he's a great wrestler, but he's blind as a bat and can't wrestle to save his life. He couldn't find his way out of a paper bag. And then you got the superstar. I tell you, he's making his way around all the promotions in the state. He took on a guy from Texas, Cody James. And I tell you, it was an evenly fought match. They were both they were ring technicians, and they knew what was going on in the ring at all times. But you see, the superstar is just that much better. So, his technician, his in-ring awareness won out against the cockiness of Cody James. Then you had Rob Bryson. Rob Bryson was supposed to be in a match. He was supposed to be wrestling against the superstar. But then all of a sudden he decided that he's going to change his image. He's going to change his look. And now he is the one-man boy band he's a teen heartthrob. And he's got a new producer, kind of a manager of sorts, Sean Matthews, the legendary Sean Matthews. Sean Matthews is a dear close personal friend of mine. I tell you what, he was there at all. He started many people's career. Before there was Colonel Tom Parker, before there was anybody that managed or ran the career of Elvis Presley, Sean Matthews was there. He was at Hullabaloo. He was at the Dick Clark American Bandstand. He was everybody, and he was making everybody a star back then. And he's been working his way up through the record industry, and now he's found out that Rob Reisen wants to be a singer instead of a wrestler. So he's going to make him the new teen heartthrob, which is kind of ridiculous because Rob Reisen's like 25 years old, so he's not really a teen anymore. But either way, he's going to try to make it as a one-man boy band, which is kind of similar to the one-man rock band Heath Slater in WWE. Either way. And then they had the Border Crashers, Johnny Crash and Robert Romero versus the Dark Alliance, Kirk Chaos and Ronan the Rock and Roll Vampire. Now, I tell you what, I don't know who's better. I think Kirk Chaos is the better wrestler than Ronan the Rock and Roll Vampire, who is personally sponsored by Lay's Sour Cream and Onion chips. I mean, he just adores them. He thinks they've never been out here on the West Coast. But the Border Crashers, they actually got their first win together. And in spite of the Black Ops interference, who actually, they were suspended earlier that day. You know, I'm going to tell you about the Black Ops. I went to Stephen Powers, the owner of New Era Wrestling, and I told him, I said, you know, these Black Ops, they're just running out of control. They're making a fool of themselves. They're really taking over NEW, and we've got to do something about it. So I told him we need to suspend them and take them out of action for a while. And coming up after the break, I'm going to continue to tell you all about what's going on in independent wrestling, all the shows that happened, and tell you all about what's going on in that aspect. And I tell you what, if my guest gets here, I don't know where he's at. He's probably tied up on I-25 somewhere. But when he gets here, we're going to have him talk, and we're going to give him a profile and let you all know about who he is. So when we get back, this is the Michael Titus Show on GoMileHigh.com. Stay tuned.
Did you see the game last night?
No.
Me neither. Wish I knew the score.
Hey, what's that up in the sky?
It's a long drive.
It's a pop fly. It's Superfan!
Did I hear someone in need of sports?
Oh, yes! Superfan! I need sports.
Well then, GoMileHigh.com is what you need. We've got all the sports you can handle.
Oh, thank you, Superfan.
Catch your breath.
Crash. Ouch. You. Windshield. Face. Pain. Me. Terrified. Down. Slow. Maniac. Any of these words can be rearranged and combined in your own special way to use when you're in a car and your friend is driving recklessly. Because it doesn't matter what you say, just say something. Brought to you by the Ad Council and SpeakUpOrElse.com.
Go Mile High is easy to find on Facebook, too. Like us. GoMileHigh.com.
Pack your bags. A broadcasting school is looking for you to study in the USA. The Ohio Center for Broadcasting's Colorado campus is now accepting students from all over the world for its international training program in radio and TV. For more information, Skype us at Broadcasting USA or visit beonair.com/international. You could take classes in English or Spanish, be on the air, and be in the USA. Skype us at Broadcasting USA or visit beonair.com/international.
What's more fun than a cowgirl with an hour of free time on her hands? They've got this fantastic athletic creature.
The Corral.
It was the fourth straight year that this 7-year-old Bay Gelding has carried a cowboy to the Guyman victory. They're treating this horse good, and he's trying to bug those cowboys off, and he's doing it with style, and they're winning. I'd just like to go pet that horse and tell him how cool I think he is.
The Corral with Kelly Brogan, weekday evenings 6 to 7 on Go Mile High. GoMileHigh.com.
GoMileHigh.com. Go Mile High.
Welcome back to the Michael Titus Show right here on GoMileHigh.com, your home for Colorado indie professional wrestling. That's right. I'm going to be talking about every promotion here in the state of Colorado. We're going to be talking about everything, and we're going to profile each and every one of the wrestlers here in the state of Colorado because we want to let you all know who they are, what they're all about, and what their future goals and aspirations are. And I tell you what, you don't want to miss it because all those profiles that I'm going to be having each and every week that this show is going on, And the guest, he just texted me, said he's here. I don't see him. He must be hiding out. He's afraid of me or something like that. I'm not afraid of him. He's a midget. But I tell you what, getting back to NEW, you had Kincaid, Joey A. Kincaid, human grenade, hand grenade, whatever name he wants to go by against the Heat Seeker, Tony Morales. Now, the whole point of this was that Stephen Powers, the owner of NEW, he wanted to take out Kincaid. He already did it once a couple of shows ago, took out his knee. He got surgically repaired knees. He's got surgically repaired shoulders and everything like that. And he was ready to get in action. But Tony Morales is the homicidal half-breed. I mean, he's just a little midget of a guy. And you got to watch out because he'll really put a hurt on you, that's for sure. And I tell you what, I see him walking in the door here. We got my special guest coming in here. He's going to be here shortly. But the greatest thing about that entire match is that when Kincaid thought he had it won, Stephen Powers got on the apron, and he tased Joey A. Kincaid. He tased him. You know, that is hilarious. He tased him. It was funny. He was shaking and shivering all over the place. It is unbelievable. And then you had the Razorback Jay Sin versus Chief Arakulala Kapupua, or whatever his name was. But all of a sudden, Jay Sin just wins out, and he's got a contract with New Era Wrestling. Then you had Jason Knoll, my Diamond Standard, to take on Chris Von Lohr. I don't know what happens in NEW, but Chris Von Lohr changes his tune, and he really has a problem with things going on here. But Jason Knoll won out. I don't know how to distract a little bit, but we got the job done. We always get the job done. And then we had an exclusive for NEW. They had a ladies' match. Star Venus versus Rose Thorne. I tell you what, the stench from Rose Thorne didn't really beat out on Star Venus, so she had to really do a number on Rose Thorne, but Star Venus won out on that match. And then those guys, those tag team perfectionist specialists, that's who they are, Chaz Lawrence and Frankie Tanner, they really made a name for themselves out there, and they had a lot of fun, and they took out, once again, Danger Dean and Bruce Rogers, and if he can get his headphones on, his fancy $5,000 headphones, we will get him in the studio right here. Put it in the slot there, man. There you go.
Man, look at this.
I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, my special guest on the Michael Titus Show is none other than Ohio Center for Broadcasting graduate, morning show host of 98.9 Magic FM in Colorado Springs, and one of the worst wrestlers in the state of Colorado, the ACW champion, Danger Pimpin' Dean.
There we go. Where's the applause?
Well, he does. Our producer doesn't know about the sound effects yet, so we couldn't get
Hit
the applause.
Hit the clap button.
No, there's no
there he's clapping.
He just did an imaginary clap for you.
That's good.
So, Danger Dean, I'm so glad that you were able to make it up here, even though, we've had a lot of animosity towards each other for years. There's been a lot of things going on, dating back to all the way back to August of 2009, the Dr. Death Steve Williams retirement show, and how you beat out me for the ACW contract because I guess you needed it more being the announcer than I needed as a color
commentator.
Yes.
Right, yes. And I was able to throw you over the top. Well, I didn't throw you. A little trickery and foolage.
You low-bridged me. You dropped the top rope on me. I flew over like a gazelle. I just soared like an eagle and all this kind of stuff. I couldn't believe it.
It looked beautiful. It looked absolutely beautiful.
Well, and what I've been telling all the listeners, if there are any listeners, but I'm going to tell them that all the people here at OCB, they've been wanting you to come back. They want you to be an instructor. They want you to be a guest speaker.
Ooh.
But you would not come back. But when at my request, you came back.
That's right. That's right. Once you asked. No, a lot of respect, man. This is a good setup. I actually haven't been back to Ohio Center for Broadcasting in a few years, so I wasn't aware that everything looks so nice. So way to go, guys. Way to go, OCB.
They really worked hard getting out of that warehouse.
Yeah, we were just down the street. In a shopping strip back in the day. It was still a great setup, good stuff, and taught me a lot, obviously, but yeah, very nice.
They didn't teach you how to talk. You already knew that.
Yeah, well, actually, I was
did they?
I was pretty shy.
You were shy?
Yeah, I was shy.
That doesn't seem like you.
Yeah, well, nowadays I'm not so shy, but then I was.
Oh, you were then? Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you could be here on my show. I was just talking about NEW. I was talking about some of the show results, letting them know all about what was going on, and
That was a lot of fun.
How did that paddle feel on October 16th from Frankie Tanner?
Oof, busted me right in my head. And I had a lot of respect going into the match for those two, and they ended up using the paddles. So, it was a lot of fun though. NEW's was a lot of fun. I'm glad that they opened me with welcomed me with open arms. So.
Well, you know what they always say: win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat, and that's the motto of those guys.
That's right, those guys.
And what do you think about Jinsu?
Jinsu, he's about 250 plus pounds of
300 pounds.
300 pounds of pure man.
He makes coffee nervous.
He does. He makes everybody nervous in the back, I think.
He makes Madman Pondo, that juggalo, look like a pussycat.
He does, absolutely.
He carries chains to the ring. It's unbelievable. But he took on Prodigy on that show.
He did. He did take on Prodigy and beat the snot out of Prodigy.
Oh, yeah. And you know what Prodigy says. He's born into wrestling. He was born and bred into this business. But when you face Jinsu, it's too much for you. You can't handle it.
Yeah, you have to be born with a knife and a net, I think.
Well, and then that next match was Trajan Ender versus Lonnie Valdez.
Always
Before we
a
get
pleasure.
to that, what do you think about Miss Leisure? The personal valet for Trajan Ender.
Woo! Trajan's gonna punch me so hard.
She's voluptuous.
Yes, very much so.
I tell you, I wish I could say the same for Lonnie Valdez's mother.
Ooh.
I tell you what.
I heard some things.
I think she should be the new Tack Face the Horse. That's for sure. I tell you what a dog she was.
Nice.
Trying to get in my face, trying to get a... I was saying only nice things about Lonnie Valdez. I think he's a phenomenal wrestler. But then she comes over here and I'm like, Mama Valdez, get the hell out of my face. I can't tell you to... And she's trying to choke me at the announcer's table.
You're lucky to get away.
Oh, man, it was unbelievable. But they had a great match.
They did. Oh, and I've actually watched it a bunch.
Yeah, it's a Ring of Honor worthy match, wouldn't you say?
I would absolutely agree.
It's unbelievable. But then Candyman, did you see that? He took on Bronx, a hired henchman of Stephen Powers.
I did.
And Candyman got a sprained neck.
He's just been getting his butt whooped. Left and right,
And then
every
at the
time
ACW show, it broke.
Yeah,
he's going to be out 6 months rehab, if not more.
That is the craziest thing I've ever heard. I actually haven't even heard from him since that happened.
I haven't heard anything. He told me he was going to Mexico, but I guess not now.
Oof, poor guy. I love you, Candyman.
Oh yeah, you got to watch out. But when we get back from the break, we're going to talk about the rest of the shows that happened on here in Colorado during the month of October. So this is the Michael Titus Show right here on GoMileHigh.com with my special guest, Danger Dean. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more.
You're listening to GoMileHigh.com. Oh. We may not be perfect, but we love sports. GoMileHigh.com. Colorado sports lifestyle. Catch your breath.
People have all kinds of excuses for not saving energy. I'll turn it off later, so we don't have those Energy Star appliances. Maybe it's time to stop making excuses
and save the energy and resources we can.
You just never know what people will need in the future.
We can all help save more energy for tomorrow. What's your excuse? For more energy-saving tips that also save money, visit loseyourexcuse.gov/parents. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy, the Ad Council, and this station.
GoMileHigh.com. Are you freaking kidding me? GoMileHigh.com.
When you think of horses and insurance, you probably think of hurdles. At Equisure, they pride themselves on giving you a smooth ride because Equisure employs insurance people who are horse owners, competitors, and equestrian participants. The unexpected in the horse world can be costly. Don't wait to have a claim to find out. Equisure. Protect your passion. To get a quote, visit equisure-inc.com or call 800-752-2472.
Equisure. 800-752-2472.
Imagine a place where it's basketball season all year long. Imagine a place where regardless of day or month, basketball is the topic du jour. If you have a passion for hoops like that, then join Slam Magazine's Cup Viewing every Friday at 2 for the Baseline. The lockout will be driving much of our conversation this summer, but there is still national team duties, the WNBA, and college and recruiting previews to discuss. So if the labor strife has you feeling locked out, then meet up with Cup Viewing and drive the Baseline every Friday at 2, only on GoMileHigh.com.
Yeah! Go Mile High. GoMileHigh.com.
All right, welcome back to the Michael Titus Show right here on GoMileHigh.com. Our producer, Dave Brill, in there. He's taking care of us out here. And my guest this week, Danger Dean.
Hi.
So, Danger, Tell me a little bit about yourself in terms of your wrestling prowess, your wrestling skills, your wrestling abilities, because you're a relative unknown in the wrestling world, but in the radio world, you're a major phenomenon.
Yeah, well, down in Colorado Springs, that's where I've been for my whole career. Basically, I started small, got bigger, and but as far as my wrestling,
8 years later, you finally made a name for yourself in radio.
I did. Finally, they gave me an opportunity to. Thank you very much by that. If the boss is listening, by the way. But no, the wrestling, as far as what I get in there and what I do, it's, I like to get holds on. I like to, try to just work body parts, man. If I see someone's kind of weak in one area, guess what? I'm attacking it. And usually I get stomped around. I'm a little guy, so and I expect that, but I like, I'm resilient, so I can take a little bit of an ass whooping and
you started back in 2008 as a ring announcer for Asylum Championship Wrestling.
I did, and kind of started training on the side back when Brandon Bishop and I were on good terms.
Yeah,
and he taught me kind of what I needed to know. Picked up some things here and there along the way, and 2.5 years later, when I actually started my wrestling career, I'm ACW champion for a second time currently.
Yes, and there's a lot of people trying to gun for you. And on October 22nd, you were in a fatal four-way match.
Oof. And it's hard to know who to trust. It's really it's hard to know. Chris Von Lohr, I already know. As soon as that bell rings, I'm gonna pretty much stomp his big red butt. But Superstar going into it. Him and I are on pretty rocky terms as we speak right now.
You were great friends at one time, and then all of a sudden, the Superstar felt that he was in your shadow.
Well, and here's the deal. Ever since I've been in ACW, that's the thing. Everybody that I'm the closest to, they get jealous. And I personally think it's a jealousy thing. Like, what else is there?
It has nothing to do with your overexposed ego that you have.
No. I'm pretty grounded. I'm pretty grounded as a person. And I work very hard. And I think a lot of people, take that for granted or forget to see that, I think. And I've worked very hard for what I've got and where I am. And I don't know if people really realize that. And I think the jealousy takes over. I've had Mitch Carter, who was once a friend of mine, and whatever terms he left, girlfriends. Girls are crazy anyway. But Jason Knoll, after that, he cost me my first ACW championship. Cost me the belt for the first time, which was absolutely heartbreaking for me. Brandon Bishop was another one. Him and he was my trainer. He's my mentor. Stabbed me in the back. Leaves me here. Superstar, Candyman, these are like my last two guys. And all of a sudden, Candyman's out with a broken neck. I don't even know what's going on with him. Superstar, he's three times this guy has left me laying in the ring after I've trusted him. And, wait till I get my hands on him.
Well, he had to super kick you. I mean, your inflated ego is as inflated as my hair. Yeah, and I can't, I understand that you've been flaunting it over people. You've been taking that ACW belt all over the place. You've been bringing it to bars. You've been bringing it to restaurants. You've been trying to flaunt it in people's faces. And I'm sorry, the institutional title is a minor title compared to the ACW title. And you've been flaunting it in his face and making Superstar feel like a little midget.
I've respected,
when you're the midget in reality.
I've respected Superstar from day one. Him and I have trained together since day one. Him and I stood next to each other, our very first tie-up, our very first hold, our very first match. We were there, side by side. We fought adversity. Him and I were the two small guys. Nobody thought we were going to do it. I've got nothing but respect for Superstar. I had nothing but respect for the Superstar until all of this started. I gave him a shot, and I'm willing to give him a shot. He wants a shot against me for the ACW Championship, then absolutely. I'll give him a shot. And all he has to do is face me, face to face. Quit kicking me in the head from behind. I turn around, boom, there he is. 3 times he's done that to me.
Well, and that match is scheduled for November 26th at the Hillside Community Center in Colorado Springs. That's the main event.
Bring it on. He's in a lot of trouble. Bring backup. Are you going to be there?
I'm going to be there.
Well, I'm actually going to be looking to you for some salvation during that show. You and I are on a we have a mutual respect, I think.
The only reason we have that mutual respect, because I don't like you personally as a human being, but I tell you what, the only thing that we can have in common is our hatred towards Brandon Bishop.
And that absolutely. Yeah, and your decision making at times a little as jaded sometimes is successful, and and I will give you that nod, but it ends there.
Well, I mean, Brandon Bishop is running roughshod over ACW. He's destroyed it. He's run it down the toilet, and he's just made it a mockery to the point where now all of a sudden he can't handle it anymore. He wants to cut the mustard, and he just wants to get the hell out of Dodge, and it's not right. It's just not right. He needs to be a man, and he should have been supporting this company since day one instead of supporting his own ego.
Exactly, and it's been a year and a half of, and honestly, and I use the word, it sounds goofy, but it's been a year and a half of tyranny. in ACW. Having to deal with Brandon You talk about my ego. What about Brandon Bishop? You can't even get in the locker room with that guy.
It's busting at the seams just like his singlet.
Oh, you said it, not me. You said
hey,
it, not me.
I have the right to say this is the Michael Titus Show.
Hey, all right, I'll give you that respect.
But you know what? Because it's so apropos that you're here in the studio with me today, because I'm doing a little segment called This Week in Wrestling History.
Okay.
And ironically enough, being that today is November 9th, 2011, correct?
Okay.
November 9th, 1997,
exactly.
Survivor Series.
I knew exactly where you were going.
Shawn Michaels versus Bret the Hitman Hart, your idol.
The screw job,
It
brother.
was that fateful night. They have it. They're talking about it. All that compilation DVD, 3 DVD that they're talking about. Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels.
Oh man,
I tell you what, and it's just ironic that you're here, and it just worked out that way. But that's how it is, and then that's what happened. That big whole event that happened to where Vince McMahon supposedly, there was a lot of controversy between him, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Earl Hebner, the referee, all that stuff going on, and it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, and it led to a lot of tragedy afterwards. But that night in wrestling history was, I'd say, hands down the most memorable night.
It's the most talked about night in wrestling history, almost.
The most controversial, and still to this day.
Most controversial, yes.
Almost 14 years late to the day. Today,
yes,
14 years.
Yes,
that's bananas.
And then just in a week or so, November 20th is the 25th anniversary of Survivor Series.
That's right, 25. Now I'm starting to feel a little old.
I mean, it's a big name event that's going to happen. You got The Rock and John Cena versus The Miz and R-Truth. You've got Alberto Del Rio versus CM Punk. Just got big matches.
It's going to be. November is going to be a big month. November typically is my favorite month in wrestling. Survivor Series was actually my very first. I want to say '93 was my very first pay-per-view ever.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome. It was cool to me. It was. I don't know. I cherish it a lot. So,
and they wanted to get rid of it too.
Which I wish they would go back to the original style.
Yeah,
4 on 4
format.
And the whole card's like that.
Yeah.
You got beef for a month. I wish it was like that. But
yeah, so I mean that's what's going on. But and also I was informed by Chris Von Lohr. He told me that I need to give you a little bit of an idea of what's going on in wrestling today. Okay. So, I mean, that's what's going on. Is you got next week on Monday Night Raw, you got that 3-hour event with The Rock going to be there.
That's awesome.
And you've got Survivor Series coming up with the big matches that's going to happen there. But tell me, what do you think about Vicky Guerrero? She's gorgeous, isn't she? She is a true hottie. She is a real diva. I tell you what, get rid of Kelly.
No!
They should have put Vicky Guerrero on the cover of Maxim magazine as far as I'm concerned.
There is not enough beer, tequila, whiskey, gin, vodka in the world, man. Oof. Now she is kind of hot. I'm sorry.
But you know what? I'm telling you what. We got to get ready for this Saturday, November 12th. It's going to be the benefit for the Rocky Mountain Deaf School, New Revolution Wrestling. And I tell you what, because that Deaf School is out of Golden, Colorado. So we're
absolutely.
Part of the proceeds is going to go to that. You've got a big match.
I do. This is the first time since, not since my debut in NRW, I'll be flying solo.
Yes, and you're going up against Wayne DeWayne, the fitness guru.
That's right.
He's having fitness challenges everywhere he goes until we, let punk kids like Deluxe beat him out, But either way, he, Deluxe thinks he's got to win because he can pull the tights or whatever. But I tell you what, that's going to be a big card because already scheduled, you got primetime Paul Diamond versus Jack Masidal.
I'm excited for that one,
The passionate Jack Masidal, I tell you what. And then you got Jason Knoll, my Diamond Standard, versus, well, his name is Patrick McDaniel, but now he's going by Lil Mac.
Lil Mac! That's my dude!
He
Lil
wants
Mac's
to be
my
some
guy.
little boxer or something like that, you know?
Hey, let him do what he's got to do. Hey, I like Lil Mac.
Oh, boy, I tell you what. And then we got Trajan Ender and FX versus Rob Reisen and Tony Ortega. And I understand that Rob Reisen is trying to convince Tony Ortega to get onto the teen heartthrob gimmick.
To hop onto the band.
Yeah,
the one-man boy band,
Boy
baby.
band, yeah, that's right.
Well...
And then that big match. I don't want to be handcuffed to the Duff Door Militia. Deja D, you were the one who conspired against me.
I got you. I'm taking pictures.
No.
I'm tagging your Facebook page, buddy. I see it open over there.
Wait a minute. You can't be looking at the Michael Titus Show Facebook
Just wait
page.
until you're handcuffed, buddy.
Well, we're going to be back on the Michael Titus Show on GoMileHigh.com.
Are you sick of those other sports talk stations that only talk about football and baseball? Well, listen to GoMileHigh.com, where all of Colorado's sports lifestyles are fulfilled. From shows like The Corral,
Honestly, in a rodeo, the only time it gets real quiet like that is when somebody gets hurt.
to talking about mixed martial arts.
Talk about the main event, Anderson Spider Silva taking on Yushin Thunder Okami.
GoMileHigh.com covers everything Coloradans want to hear about. So tune your computer in to GoMileHigh.com and catch your breath.
The views and opinions contained within this show may be offensive. They may make you laugh, they may make you pissed off, they may even make you want to slap your own mother. But they do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of GoMileHigh.com or the Internet Streaming Corporation. And by the way, tell Mama we're sorry that had to happen.
Go Mile High. GoMileHigh.com.
Looking for a place to watch your favorite NFL team on Sundays? Join me and the other Hooters girls all day on Sundays. We have Coors Light and Miller Lite Big Daddies for $3.50, and you can score 20 wings and a pitcher of beer for just $20. Hooters has DirecTV's Sunday ticket, so you can catch every game. And while you're here, be sure to ask your Hooters girl how you can enter to win a brand new 42-inch TV. Stop by our Aurora location at 2610 South Parker Road, just off Havana and Parker, and check us out at Facebook.com/Hooters Colorado. Join me and make Hooters your home for NFL football all season long.
I got you ready this time.
I don't have nothing to hide. I'm just listening to all my favorite shows on GoMileHigh.com.
GoMileHigh.com, man.
Go Mile High. You're listening to GoMileHigh.com.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the Michael Titus Show right here on GoMileHigh.com. And I tell you what, in the last few minutes that we have of this Michael Titus Show, the first edition of it, Danger Dean, you know, good thing I have a team of bodyguards because you wouldn't be allowed to put your hands anywhere near me just because the Duff Doyle militia are going to think that they're going to get their hands on me. They better not ruin my jacket. I just got a brand new jacket made with
What about your hair?
My hair, even my hair. My beautiful hair.
Wait until they run the fingers through the hair,
Don't
buddy.
run your fingers through your hair.
I'm going to give them special instructions.
You'll lose a hand. But yes, in the main event at NRW, it's going to be Superstar defending his title against Jesse Williams.
And a lot of people, I think, are excited. I've been waiting for this for months. They've been waiting for this encounter. And
well, remember they had a match back on June 4th of this year. First, the 1 year anniversary of NRW.
That's right.
And if it wasn't for Swan Christopher sticking his nose in, Jesse Williams would have been the first champion, but Swan Christopher stuck his nose in, and I'm trying to get him, I'm going to put an injunction.
For good reason. For good reason. For good reason, he got involved. If he didn't get involved, then what? We have a screw job in NRW too?
But then, you know, that's going to be a big card. That's going to be a big show. We can't wait. But then Sunday, Golden, Colorado, right there. New Era Wrestling. And looks like you're teaming up again with Bruce Rogers.
Yes.
But this time you're going against the Border Crashers. Robert Romero and Johnny Crash.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good showdown. I've wrestled Johnny Crash a couple times, but the unexpected, the wild card is gonna be Robert Romero. I've never stepped in the ring with him before.
It's very difficult, you know, going up against a guy who's 4'6" and weighs 350 pounds, you know, and Johnny Crash. That's a hard, you know, boulder to face.
How do you prepare for it?
I don't think you can.
You can't.
I mean, I think you may need a chisel to just.
I've been wrestling my old beanbag chair, trying to figure it out, but you know, that's Hales in comparison, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's going to be a big card. We got a lot of big things going on. Black Ops is coming back. Superstar is taking on Jason Knoll. And you got Jason. Jason, the Razorback, is going to go up against the gold standard, Michael Madoff.
That one right there. That's going to be
two big guys.
That's going to be two big guys.
And it's not a hair versus hair match either.
Luckily, they got
two bald guys. Yeah, exactly. But then on November 26th, the last show for the month, it's for the main promotions. It's Asylum Championship Wrestling, and you get your one-on-one match with the Superstar.
That's right. And as soon as I get him alone, I'll be watching my back until then. He's proven one thing to me in the last few months, is that he's a coward. Yeah. And that's all he is. So in turn, I'm going to have to watch my back a little more. But come the end of the month, I'll still have the belt, and he'll be crying.
Well, absolutely. And, Jason Knoll, my Diamond Standard, he's got some sort of beef with Chris Von Lohr, so they're going to have to fight it out. They're going to have a match. But then, what's really interesting? After about a 10-month hiatus and after recuperating from this broken wrist, I'm stepping back into the ring. I'm putting on the tights. We got a 6-man tag team matchup. Brandon Bishop, Sam Udell, and Richard Gustafson versus Michael Madoff, Pat Tanaka, and yours truly, Michael Titus. 6-man tag team action.
I'm actually very, I got your back in that one. And Pat Tanaka's a real good friend of mine. Him and I went at it for the ACW title. Brandon Bishop was involved, and Brandon Bishop did what he normally does, and Pat Tanaka's a good friend. Looking forward to that one. Kick some butt. All right?
Absolutely. I'm going to take out Richard Gustafson, that big no-neck guy. He's over there. He's trying to put his hands on Jason Knoll at the Underground show. I decked him. I laid him out on the floor.
I've spit in his face a couple times.
Absolutely. But I want to thank you very much, James Jardine, for being here on my show. It's my first show, and we'd love to have you back. And I tell you what, next week, you don't want to miss it. I'm going to be profiling the superstar himself. If I can, I'll get him in the studio. If not, I'll just have an exclusive on-location interview with him. And next week, we're going to be talking about NRW and everything that was going on there. So, like us on Facebook, The Michael Titus Show. Follow me on Twitter, Michael_Titus. Check out my website, themichaeltitus.com. And you got to listen live on GoMileHigh.com or later on Livestream.com. This is The Michael Titus Show. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
GoMileHigh.com is proud to present Internet Sports Radio at the push of a button. No matter where you are in the world, simply log on to GoMileHigh.com so you can catch up on your favorite sports.
I can't believe it, Kelly!
Stop wasting your time with that old portable radio and join the future of sports broadcasting. Log on. GoMileHigh.com, Colorado sports lifestyle. Catch your breath.